talk about it.
Guys, how is everyone? I am just worn out already, and it's only January.
It's not even, there's no chance.
We started off strong.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so today I have my first loan officer with us today.
So I'm Nick Mathis. I'm with First Bank Home Loans. We're a small community bank here, based out of Wichita Falls, but we've got a presence that we're growing here in the DFW area, and I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So one of the first things I want you to maybe clarify to our viewers is, what is the difference between a small bank and a big bank?
Realistically, there's a lot of folks that would love to, kind of just want to bash on the big banks and stuff like that. But I don't really think that's fair, because everybody kind of likes to work a little bit differently.
Yeah.
We're going to be a lot more at a smaller community bank. We're going to be a single point of contact for the most part. Whereas with the big banks, even if you have a relationship with them, try to think about, if you try to get through to find out some information on your checking, how many times you're going to have to press 0 to get somebody on the phone, or how many times you're going to have to say, agent to get somebody on the phone.
Espanol.
Right, different.
English.
Right, exactly.
I get impatient with inanimate.
Press 1 for English, press 2 for Spanish.
Yes.
For me, it is press my phone number and I answer the phone.
Text.
That's the biggest. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing. When somebody works with us, when a client works with us, we're there start to finish.
Good night, and or
Yeah.
on vacation. I'm like, dude, go be on vacation. I
Right.
didn't know you were on vacation. He's like,
Yeah.
no, I can do it real quick,
Right.
real quick.
It's, I feel like in our business and just the way this stuff is, the housing market does not work on our schedule. We have to work on its
100%,
schedule,
yeah.
and it's one of those things that I always just feel like, if the difference between making, winning an offer or not winning an offer is me responding to a text at 11, like, let's do it and get the deal in, because if it was my brother, if it was my mom, if it was something like that, I would want them to be able to get that, and
Yeah.
so that's just kind of what we do, and I always appreciate, I know if you're going to text me or you're going to ask me a question that's late, it's going to be a legit one. You're not just trying to shoot the stuff with me about it at
Right.
11 o'clock. You have your own life and stuff to do as well.
Yeah.
So.
Today, Nick chose our spot. I've never been here before.
ANAMIA'S Tex-Mex.
ANAMIA'S, yeah.
It's good. It's good.
My editor, can you throw in like a virgin in the background? Virgin. It's my first time. I love visiting places for the first time.
Yeah.
I have a ton of friends that'll call me, hey, my family's coming in town. Where should I take them?
Yeah.
Where are you at? So I usually know.
It's a good spot.
But yeah, so how long have you been coming here?
So they're one of their original locations is in Capel, and so when I used to work in Louisville, it was kind of our spot to go to, and then they have amazing ribeye fajitas here, and so like for Christmas, myself and a couple of the other loan officers all pitched in, and we bought all our operations team ribeye fajitas, all that stuff from here, and it's just good, family-owned spot. They've got I think they have 3 or 4 locations in the Metroplex area. So
And
this one here in Plano.
This one's close to your office.
Yes, because my office is about a mile and a half down the road right here on Preston and George Bush.
All right, there you go, guys. So if you come and eat here,
Preston
you
and George
should go
Bush.
Get pre-approved.
Yep, exactly. Right, get a taco, come get a loan.
And bring the taco. Bring
It's about
the
as easy as ordering a taco as getting a loan.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Nowadays it is. Yeah.
it's tough that in this society, in this world, we want everything today. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we've all said that anything that's worth having is worth working hard for, right? All these things, but a lot of folks don't do that, and so I was actually I was pulling some numbers the other day that I believe that 27 of the buyers that got keys last year were ones that we started working on stuff in 2018.
Wow.
That was huge.
That's one thing that I love working with you. I love that about you, because we have a family that we helped, Vic and Mingo.
Yeah, I love them.
And we were working with them for a year or more. And
shout out to my boy Vic if he's watching this.
And he's so sweet.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
grateful
No,
every time I
that's
see
my
him.
dog for sure.
And he was, so adamant, and even Mingo was like, hey, thank you for staying in touch. You and Nick really stayed in touch and really checked up on us and kept us on, hey, don't be spending that money, you better pay that debt off, how's it going, how's it looking, what's the progress? And you're good about telling our buyers, hey, we can close you right now if you want,
Right.
but it's going to cost you
This is
a
what
kidney.
is- yeah.
So
Right,
if you
yes.
wait 6 months, you're going to save so much
Right.
more money, and that's the relationship that you need with your realtor and your lender, because we don't want to hard close you.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to shove someone into a house and
Yes.
then be unhappy and, oh, my realtor made me do this, and my realtor convinced me, and no, I'm going to be the first to tell you, don't get that house. You don't need that. So
Right.
now we're going to talk about the deal we just had. So Vic and
Yes.
Minga got money back at closing. Now we're going to talk about Justin.
Right.
Who's just as grateful, sweetest guy.
Yeah,
You know,
super
like the
cool guy,
sweetest
man.
guy.
Oh
His
my God, so
story,
awesome. Yeah.
I've shared his
Yeah.
story on Instagram. If you're not following us on Instagram, follow us. But he is just one of the most giving people
Right.
and
Super
most
humble.
grateful. Oh yes, very, very humble person. So, okay, so walk us through the process for Justin. Justin
Yeah.
and Minga and Vic and Minga were two different situations.
Right.
Vic and Minga needed to work on credit and finances or whatnot, just so that they're not house poor.
Right. Yeah.
Justin was well qualified. However, he didn't have, like, they can afford the monthly payment.
Right. Didn't
It's
have all
just-
the down.
Yeah, didn't have all the down.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to spend all the down, you know, or there's other plans, you know, things like that. So walk us through the process from, you know, beginning to end with Justin.
Sure, yeah, and with Justin, you're exactly correct. It was from and we run into this a lot with buyers where, you know, the initial phone call will be, okay, I make X amount of dollars, I'm paying this much in rent, I can afford this much in a mortgage. That part's not the issue, it's just I can't pull together the scratch to get into that house to start making the monthly payments. And that was really Justin's thing. Like he had a little bit of money set aside, but he was under, you know, his thing was, man, I don't want to buy this house and then have to go put a bunch of stuff on credit cards just to
Right.
get in. Like that just is so counterproductive. And so you know, and just testament to Sally staying with him and myself kind of keeping up with him. We initially were looking at a couple of houses in September, I think. And the game changer for him was that we got everything qualified, and then when you submitted that offer and asked for all the closing costs and title to be covered, that changed everything, because then we were allowed to, once they agreed to it, then we were able to actually lower the interest rate on the program that he was doing because he didn't need as much money. So that covered, so we used the down payment assistance program to cover just the down payment. You got him all the closing costs covered. And so then he, at the very end, the $3,200 that he had written his deposit check for, got all that money back.
Yes.
So yeah, it was definitely like everybody working in unison together.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we're going to try our tacos and we're going to talk about it.
Love it.
So,
I love it. So
we're
the
gonna
spicy chicken
try
fajita
the
one.
Spicy chicken ones first.
Yep.
So we have toast. Oh wow, that's really good.
That's not terrible.
Oh wow, that's really good. It's not spicy.
No, it's not. It's got a good flavor, but it's not like I mean, it's definitely like
It's like
white people spicy. That's terrible.
That's awesome. Okay, so we tried the chicken.
Yes.
We approve. So now we're
Chicken's
going to
good.
try the fajita beef.
You want me to cut that one in half?
Yes.
All right, let's do that.
All right, we're going to try the fajita tacos
Yes.
now. Let's see how these bad
These
boys
ones I'm
taste.
actually pretty stoked about because I've had them before. I love that salsa. Good. Nice.
That's good. You the whole thing?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like 2 bites. Yeah, that thing didn't stand a chance.
Okay, we're going to try. That was great.
Yeah.
That was really, really good.
Yep. So
Now we're going to
Crispy's-
try the crispy, yeah, because it's
Okay,
getting
we gotta
chubby.
try to break that one. So let me see if I can cut it without
This is ground beef.
totally demolishing, but I'm probably gonna demolish it.
It's all good. Just get a bite.
See if I can make a giant mess.
Thank you. Let me give you a pretty one.
Mama raised me right. Right, Mom? Because I know you're watching
All right.
this.
Hi, Mom.
If anybody watches my videos, I know my mama does.
Aw, that's sweet. My mom does too. And she's
Yes.
like, I didn't like that shirt you were wearing.
Mija, why do you have to dress like that?
Yeah. The one I did with Eddie, when my mom finally met him, she was like, we were saying something. He's like, oh yeah, I'm the cook in my house, you know, and my wife. And she goes, when she first sat down, she's like, oh, she goes, what is it? She goes, I thought you were going to tell me you're dating. I was like, Mom, you're always married. And she's like, I thought you had a surprise. And then
Wishful thinking, Mama.
Yeah, he left, and she's like, Mija, ask Eddie if he has any brothers. He knows how to cook. That means the brothers can cook.
Right. That's good. Yeah, my mama raised them right. You're good.
That's right. Good job on that one.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna put the same salsa. This salsa is really great.
Yeah, this is my favorite here.
Better than the normal one.
Yeah.
But you have to ask for it.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, the salsa rojo's good, but
yeah.
I can't remember what he said he called this one, but it's really that's right. It's really good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so and I put guacamole on mine. You do.
Cheers. It's like Taco Bell on steroids. So good. One big thing that you want to do differently this year than you did last year.
I have no respect for my time, and I give it all away.
Right.
You need me, I'm there. You need me, I'm there. My seller, my buyer, I'm in.
Right.
So I am not answering my phone before 8 a.m. I try not to even look at it. And 8 a.m. is actually early for some people.
Sure,
There's some realtors that are like, I don't look at
tenners.
it.
Yeah.
So, and then I'd be there at 11 o'clock at night on my phone. So I have to get better at just putting it away. Because, you know, the fact that your children say, man, Mom, you work a lot. And, you know, my son's like, oh, I'm a monster hard worker. And, oh, you're the boss mom. But then he's like, then I also hear things from them like, oh, you have to work. Well, I didn't tell you because I know you're busy. And that's when I'm like, oh, no. The whole reason I got into real estate, the number one reason was to have more time with my kids.
Be more flexible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, yes, we work a lot.
Famous last words. Yeah.
So I get to have them with me doing door hangers, and they come with me a lot. But
That's
just
cool.
that time where I just need to, I have to disconnect.
Yeah.
And I have to respect that.
It's hard.
When your broker tells you you need to make more family time, that says a lot. Okay, so where's your next family vacation?
So we actually...
And is it going to include everyone?
It is going to be, we're even going to drag my 20-year-old along with us.
Nice.
This will be, Laurel and Lara, this will be a no girlfriend vacation. This will be MATHIS family only. But we are actually going to, we were just talking about the other day, so about 5 years ago, we did a vacation. We went out to Southern California, where I'm from, stayed at the beach a few days, and then did a few days at Disneyland. And we've never done Disney in Florida. And so we are actually working on planning that one, because one, so we can start paying for it now, because it ain't cheap. And it'll be nice to have it paid for up front. But yeah, so we're gonna do, we're planning on probably starting I think the last weekend in May, about a week after the boys get out of school. Then we're gonna go out there, spend a week, and hit all the good stuff before the boys are too old that I can't drag them around. I mean, like, Colston's gonna love it, because when the boys are out of the house and he's 12, he's gonna be spoiled. But
he's already spoiled.
Well, maybe just a little bit. He's the baby. So,
he is the baby.
So question number 2.
I'm going to do.
So, I know purchased a house last year, right?
I did.
What is the what are the reno timeline plans? I know you've been tweaking it. What do you got going on this year for it?
Oh man, when we moved into it, I moved into a flip because I wanted to know what my clients were experiencing. I wanted to be able to tell you, want to remove popcorn ceiling? This is how much it's going to cost. You need a painter, it's $700 per room. I wanted to be able to relate, and I couldn't relate prior to that.
Right.
So, and I like making things my own. Our broker gave us some numbers, and I want to say 82%, but I'll check. 82% of clients do not remember their realtor's name in 6 months and do not use them. If they bought a home and then they go sell it, they don't use the same realtor. If that's with the realtor that we had such a close relationship with, imagine the lender.
It's
insane. It's sad.
It's it's really interesting, and I feel like a lot of times focused on maybe the number as much as the quality. If I'm being very transparent, I would say that last year, as many families as we helped, there were probably times where there were other families that we weren't able to do quite as much maybe education with or things like that, because we were busy, right? And we couldn't get to it. And so for me this year, I definitely expect to have a strong year. I have great partners that I work with. I mean, that part looks great so far. Everything looks good. But I think really having it be where maybe I have an opportunity to do a little bit more guidance, a little bit more business balance as far as that goes, is maybe a little bit more my goal. I was really fortunate. I want to say, I believe 12 of the clients that I closed in 20, and I'm not 100% positive, I think 12 are the ones that we closed in 2018 when rates were higher, we refinanced this year. And into lower rates. And that is something that is, everybody says, like, oh, hey, I'll do that. I'll follow up with you. I'll keep an eye if rates do this, if they do that stuff. Full transparency, it's almost impossible for me to always keep up with that. But I have a really awesome marketing department that they will, when they watch the trends, they'll be like, hey, by the way, these guys have all been in the house for over a year, and here's where their rate's at. And then I can make a phone call and just go, hey, are you guys interested in doing this? Because it's a mathematical equation.
That's right.
And if the math makes sense, then we're going to look at doing it. If not, I'll be the first one to say stick where you're at with that.
These are the last ones that we have here, but this is one of their most popular ones.
This is it. This is the one.
With the chicken one.
The chicken one, yeah.
Spicy chicken.
Worth the wait?
Oh, man.
It's like legit brisket.
Yes, that's good.
It's really good.
There's no fat in it.
No, not at all.
Only the one's going to give me.
right. Yeah.
All right, so that was our Let's Talk About It video.
We definitely talked about it.
We did. We talked a lot. There's a lot to learn. We're going to do like a part 2 or something.
I know, we probably should.
Yes,
yeah, you can't get the two of us together. I mean, like, it's just, we could go for hours.
But thank you for coming, Nick, and we will see you guys on the next episode of Let's Talk About It.
Let's do it. If anybody knows my wife, do not share this because we are on a cleanse. And I'm certainly not supposed to be eating this and will not be able to eat dinner tonight. So I will be going to the gym right after we're done here. But
Let's talk about it.